Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. It's Liz. Told you I was going to tell you a story, so I'm going to wait for a second for you to go get some popcorn and some sodas. Bring some back for me too, because I want some. We're going to talk. Alright, now that you're back with all the good stuff, I hope you brought some candy too, because I want some. Anyways, I'm going to tell you about the story about the time my two kids went missing. They were abducted. And I don't mean by aliens. But anyways, let me just set it up for you. We live right off base, from Tyndall Air Force Base, Florida, and a guy that we went to church with, his son was abducted from the base, from Tyndall. 4-year-old Adam Finch, and he had went out to ride. He was 4. He went outside to ride his bicycle. And he was abducted. And come to find out, they had started to question a contractor from Pensacola, Florida, who was doing work here at Tyndall. And he had befriended John Finch's wife. And I believe, I can't remember his name. I mean, her name. I remember his name. But anyways, he had befriended her, and he was like, you know, he'd stop over, because he worked on base. He was a contractor, building and stuff back there in the back. And apparently, he had abducted this little boy. And when they went to talk to him, they were going to question him about, you know, his activities at the base, and, you know, he knew the little boy. Before they could do that, this guy from Pensacola, the contractor, had committed suicide. He went out in the back and killed himself with a gun. 7 months after he was abducted, they found his skeletal remains in Walton County, which is about 50, 60 miles from Tyndall. It's going towards Pensacola. They found his skeletal remains. An animal had drug it out in the middle of the highway or something. And they found the skull and a lot of the other stuff. And they identified him as Adam Finch. Okay, now that that's said and done with. And that was in 1996. About 2 months after, Adam disappeared from Tyndall. My kids too. Both of mine. My boy and my girl. So let me tell you what happened. I was sitting on the phone one Wednesday evening, and I was talking to my girlfriend. And we were deep in a conversation and stuff, and my two kids were out in the front playing. At the time, they were 5 and 7. My son was 7, my daughter was 5. And they were out in the front yard here, and they were playing around and stuff. And I'm talking to my girlfriend, Jen, and I said, well, you know what? You know, we had been on the phone for a while. And I said, let me go, you know, because I got to take them to go eat. My husband was working night shift that week. And I said, let me just go ahead and go, because I got to take them to get something to eat. And I think I'm going to take them up to Pizza Hut. Just me and the kids. So I got off the phone with her, and I went out there, and I hollered for both of them. I couldn't find them. They wouldn't answer me. So what the hell? You know, what's going on? So I was like, Sean, Nikki, you know, and I'm just screaming and yelling. I was like, shit. So I go around the corner, you know, because we live on the corner. So I went around the other side of the corner and to see if they were down there, and they weren't. And I was like, oh, you know, so I walked down the street, because there's a lot of kids that live around here, you know, and I was asking them, and they don't know, haven't seen them. So as I'm coming back home, we had a family that lived across the street from us, and the guy it was him, his mother, his sister, and her children. Well, my kids played with her children sometime. Well, I asked the guy if he had seen my kids, and he said, yeah. He said, I seen them. So, oh, where are they? You know, and he said, well, they went into the woods with some adult, some female. I said, what? I said, oh, yeah, it was an older lady. I saw them following her into the woods over here on the side. I said, what? Okay, he's a little touched anyways. He's touched. So I go back, I come in the house, and I call Steve, and I'm like, Steve, I said, I can't find the kids, you know? Now, I have been looking for about 30 minutes now. So he said, Liz, did you call the police? And I said, no. He said, well, goddamn it, call the police. I'm on my way home. And I called the police. I bet you there had to been, I want to say, at first they showed up like at 6 of them at one time. Luckily, where my house is, if you go down the street and take a right, there's the police. That's where the substation is, the sheriff's office. And so they were all here at the house. Luckily, I knew a few of them, you know. I went to school with a couple of them. And anyways, so Steve comes home and they're all over. I mean, there's so many sheriff people all over. They're just swarmed in this neighborhood. Everybody was knocking on doors. Everybody was asking everybody if they had seen my kids, and so the boy across the street. Well, let me finish. So everybody's looking. I call my brother. He gathers up some of his friends. Excuse me, Piggy. And then I called my mother. She calls her Japanese friends. They all show up here. Now we got a search party going on. An hour into it, we have a search party going on. I'm devastated. I'm just, where the fuck are my kids? You know? And what bitch took my children? Shit, she keep them long enough, she'd have brought their asses back. But okay, let me not get off like that. Anyways, so, we're going through all this, and then, the next thing I know, there's like 100, almost 200 people down the streets. Everybody, and I have to give it to them, everybody came out. We had people from Tyndall Air Force Base come out here to help search for my children. So they talked to Timmy, the guy that lives across the street, that's a little touched. They talked to him, and he said, oh yeah, you know, there was a lady, and I saw her taking both the kids into the woods. So, Steve got home, and they had to damn near lock me up because I was going ballistic. So, anyways, the police, they're about to send the helicopters out. They said that they have the helicopters that have the infrared light to search body heat and stuff in the woods, because we have a big lake over here, but on the right side of it is a lot of woods, dense woods. Damn near live in the country. Anyways, so they were going to send the helicopters out, and so they were getting ready, and I mean, we had people. There was people everywhere you went. You couldn't look down one street within a 10-mile radius. People were out knocking on doors. They were asking people if they had seen these two kids, and everybody came out to help. All the neighbors, whatever they were doing, they dropped it. And they came and they helped out. They were going through, like we had a couple of houses. A lot of the houses around me have pools and stuff. And there was a couple of them that were empty. The houses were empty. I'm running out of time. Shit. Oh, damn. Okay. Anyways, they were empty. And so what they had to do was people were jumping fences to go and look to make sure they didn't jump in the pool and had drowned. So anyways, here we are. I'm walking around, and they had asked me, they said, we need a picture of your children just in case something bad has happened. And as I was walking down the street, the patrol car came up, and they had told me, they said, we need you to come back to the house. It's an emergency. You really need to come back to your house. So they put me in the patrol car, me, my mother, and her friend. I'm running out of time. I'll be right back with the rest of the story. Hold on.